All right, everyone, welcome to the Healing Just for You. I've decided I'm going to change the session just to, instead of just world session, it is for everybody, but whatever you hear is just for you. So it is July 28th. We're almost at the end of the month. We're still at the waning moon, and you could think of today as a bit of letting go. And it is July 2026. 2026. So, what we're doing today is taking a peek at um, how we deal with all of the stuff coming in our lives. So, especially for, the urbanites in the world and spending time on computers, we tend to kind of flip the switch on our ability to think properly, find practical solutions to the problems that we have. Yeah, sure, we can ignore things, but very often the feminine can take over. And what the feminine often does is take a bunch of information in, and we don't necessarily focus on something in particular to really go in depth in. So, this is not about women, this is about the feminine. So what we want to do is get the feminine going through the central nervous system, through the gut, brain, through the solar plexus chakra, and that ability to appropriately sort out whatever we need to sort out. So you might even feel the belly sort of forming or creating a little bit of maybe you'll even notice some gas or the need to move around so that the belly can kind of get into connection with where we want to go is second chakra, and second chakra is where we are. There we go. Already we're getting a little bit of burping going, so that means the energy is meeting up, it's moving. And what we're linking to is the fear. Uh, it's huge fear. Like it's terrorizing fear. It's the terrorizing fear that shouldn't really be there. Like to have fear that is so strong, you would need a lion coming at you, right? But we don't. I don't think I was supposed to say that word. I'm supposed to say pew pew, right? Um, I'll have to go find how I get rid of that. All right. Um, so we're living in that extreme fear when it comes to our identity being challenged. So someone in the group mentioned it takes courage. Yes, likely, highly likely it takes courage. It takes courage to kind of make your own decision, go your own way. That is true. But alongside that, we're also alongside that, not a but, there's just so much air moving around the belly as we're doing this because we're focusing gut brain, focusing head brain. We're getting the gut head brain axis going. And also, I didn't mention in the group the vagus nerve is really coming in strongly, which calms us down. When we're calmed down, we can see a more global picture of things. That sounds really good, right? You just go, oh, if I just do my vagus nerve exercise, I'm going to calm down and I can get a global view of things and I'll be able to take the right steps. Yeah, sure, that's part of it. But the second part is how much of our um, second chakra holds identities that we are absolutely terrified of exposing or losing. So the second chakra can be affiliated with extended, like the secondary emotions to Chinese medicine, like jealousy, resentment, just where fear becomes more and more pathologized, and there are a lot more excuses to fear. That feels like something a little bit new that Usually I work through active memory and our belief systems through the nervous system. But in this moment, it's coming up as a second chakra piece. So, I mean, obviously you get to see all the different combinations of things, but right now I'm kind of feeling in the left quadrant of the pelvic basin. It's kind of cramping down. It's just coming down. So left is going to be linked to the right brain, so that's feminine. And just that feminine energy that just gets so tied up with who we think we are. So it might be showing itself to you. Now you might just kind of be feeling, yeah, there are a lot of things I think I am. Yeah, I have so many coming up, like uh, things to do with weight, like, oh my God, I'm out of control. That's who I am. I got to get myself under control. That has a lot of fear, and I'm sure many of you could have that experience for many different things. It might not be your weight, it might not be that kind of thing. It could be emotional. I need to get my emotions under control. I need to get my thoughts under control. I need to get, my life under control, which is really the focus of this, is getting, here's my life. I got to get it under control. The problem with that is, sure, we can have a modicum of control of what's going on, but if we excessively trying to control it and we're seeking that control, it actually controls us. So then you get this next layer that goes on. Now, I'm not going to go through all the possible permutations here, but if you could just feel into, I'm actually getting pain in the ilium bone. It's like going under where the iliacus would be. It's just like it's not a real pain, but I just feel this soreness coming up. I'm going, what? What's under there? Like what's trying to show us what's under there? And it just feels like the pelvic base and the second chakra goes, yeah, I can hide stuff on you so you don't suffer. It's not doing it in a sneaky way. It's just saying, oh no, we can hide this stuff so you never have to look at it, right? Many times you could kind of look and go, no, that's not the way I am, or that. And so there are very, very sneaky ways things can hide on us. And yeah, it's hard to look at them, right? That's where someone said we need courage because we want to look at them. Sure, but today we want to work it with let's gently coax those things out and release them and link it up to the waning moon. And now I want to cry. I just feel like a lot of emotion is rising up. Woof, my eyes are burning. It doesn't feel like I have to release tears. It doesn't feel like water. It feels like the tears that are just like coming to the eyes, but they're part of the nervous system going, I just need to travel. I want this stuff out of the way. I want to move through the body. Okay, so nice deep breath or gentle breath, or when I think of deep, or I tend to say that, and it doesn't always have to be deep because sometimes we can't, right? So you just want to be aware of the breath, but you'll start to notice the diaphragm will open up and it'll feel like it's a lot deeper, a lot deeper. So just take it, or the breath will be bigger, larger, and then your lungs will expand. The belly opens up, the lungs pull downward. Just kind of feel into that. I breathe in, diaphragm belly kind of push out, and those lungs can pull downward. They can get all of this circulation going on, get the oxygen going in, get the blood circulating, get everything cleaned out, just expel. I can feel a little tickle in my throat as I'm doing that. Even as I'm focusing on this breathing, I feel like my voice is doing something strange, like it really needs to clean out. I don't feel any phlegm, but I feel sort of a dryness, like, the air needs to circulate in the lungs. So 3, 2, 1, let's tap it through and get these identities to expose themselves. So over the next week, you might see aspects of yourself that you've believed for many years. You might notice when you're looking at them. Maybe you tend to see things, maybe you hear things, maybe you just think about it. You'll start to go, that's not real. That's not a real version of me. You are just who you are, and you can have many, many different roles that you step into. And you might start noticing, oh, that's the role I use here. That's the role I use there. And, people often say, the real me. Like, what? The real you? This is the Vedantic question, who am I? Because ultimately we just are. I am. And then the moment you put a word after it, there is no you anymore. You're in a role. I am clowning around. I'm the clown now. I am the mother. I am the teacher. So we go in these roles, and then there's an essence that is working through them. But the moment you label too much of the essence, like I am this, I am that, it's not who you are. It's an essence that operates through you. Because some of us can be extroverts, some of us can be more introverts, but doesn't mean the extrovert can't act like uh, an introvert at times. So I'm more extroverted, but you can see plenty of times where I'm very, very introverted. So I can do that too. It's not an identity I can keep, but my essence would be more, I'm naturally extroverted. Yeah, but then part of me just decides to close up and doesn't want to be anymore. So start to recognize, or you will, I feel like you will recognize these things are, some of them are fake, they're not real, and you've believed they were so real about you. One thing, and the second thing is you could try to notice them. Notice that, oh, I'm in a role now, and it's fine. And then there's me behind the role, right? Or there's the essence behind the role, but it has no real identity. That's why we keep asking, who am I? And who am I never goes away. There is no answer. The moment you state who you are, you've put yourself in a box. And yeah, we don't need to go in a box. We don't need that. All right. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Ooh, there's another energy release. See what happens with the waning moon. And yeah, next week, um, after I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday, once we start in the waxing moon, for those of us who are losing hair like me, that's the time I trim my hair so the waxing moon can create more. So get prepared for that. Don't, if you need more hair, don't cut your hair this week. All right, everyone, have a great week and be well and see you next week.